GISSAH Akoya. Okay, this is the first GISSAH perfume that I've tried, and this is the first perfume that comes into my collection. In case you guys are not aware, GISSAH is a Middle Eastern brand and it is made in Kuwait. And if you guys didn't know, most of these collections, they come in 200 ml. Okay, the bottle might look like 100 ml, but it's actually 200 ml. Okay, and that's why their pricing looks a bit higher, because I think I remember paying around 7,000 something. It's definitely worth that price because it's a 200 ml. So stay tuned to watch in detail. What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frag. First perfume from the brand GISSAH, which I have tried, and this is the first one that comes into my collection, which is called as GISSAH Akoya. Alright, the most popular or the first popular one was Imperial Valley. I've tried a lot of clones of that brand, which is why I was not very keen about trying the original, because those clones or inspired versions were about 80 to 85% similar. So generally what happens is, when I try too many clones, and then when I reach out to the original, then I feel that the original is not so impressive, because the clones reminds me of the clones which is done really well. But not all clones get that close, especially with the quality, but some clones are really good. When I reach out to the original, don't really get impressed, use the original. So generally what I do is I skip out the clones so that I don't stop loving the original. So I do that as well. Now when it comes to GISSAH Akoya, I've not seen anything that has been an inspired version, but I recently reviewed AHL by AHMED Maghribi, which is definitely similar to Akoya. So I'm going to do a comparison of that as well. So that's right here. So before we get into those details, let me quickly show you the presentation box. It's a beautiful presentation box, guys. It's made in Kuwait. Okay, it's not Dubai. This is from the GISSAH signature collection, and the presentation is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. There is no comments saying this should have been better, that should have been better, nothing at all. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, beautiful presentation. The only thing is, you have to get a 200 ml bottle. I'm not sure how many of you would find that being worth, because 200 ml bottles, when it comes to the price value, it is definitely value for that price. But whether you would need 200 ml of a single perfume is something that you'll have to take a personal call. For me personally, 200 ml is just too much, guys, because I have a lot in my collection. I don't think I need any perfumes beyond 30 ml, because that's where I usually calculate. But for this one, I did not have a choice, because they did not have a smaller size bottle. So 200 ml is the only size that they have. So this is how the presentation box look like. And the bottle design is also very unique. It has this nice, it looks like ceramic, but it's a plastic and rubber finish, but it is definitely of great quality. It has GISSAH inscribed here, and the cap also has this design. You can see that in my camera. So beautifully designed bottle. You can see that it's made in Kuwait as well. 200 ml. Okay, and it has this big atomizer. Okay, very big atomizer, and the sprayer is actually very nice. Okay, it has a control sprayer and it has a long press as well. You just have a look at that. Okay, a very long press and a control sprayer. Very beautiful sprayer. Wow, it smells gorgeous, guys. Now what I did was, GISSAH Akoya is known to be inspired by Oud Maracuja. Okay, that's where this got popular, is what I've heard, but I haven't smelled the original of Oud Maracuja. Now AHMED Maghribi AHL is also known to be an inspired version of Oud Maracuja, or some say that this is inspired by Akoya. Now if I have to compare these two, okay, these two, I personally love this one more than AHL. But when it comes to performance, I felt AHL is more beast mode than this one. Now talking about the smell, this opens up with a beautiful bergamot along with raspberry. That raspberry is very, very nicely done. Very beautiful, rich raspberry. The mid has some sort of caramelized feel along with lavender. And then in the base, you get nice dose of woods. There is leather, patchouli and sandalwood. Okay. That woody note gets more oudi in the late ride on, which is after 2 to 3 hours. Now here in AHL, that woody note, which is the oud accord, gets smokier within 1 hour. And the oud note here is more smokier than this one. Here, that raspberry is beautifully done. I don't get that raspberry much here. Okay, so I'm not sure whether Oud Maracuja has that raspberry accord or not. Like I said, I haven't smelled Oud Maracuja, so I'm not sure which one is closer to Oud Maracuja. But if you ask among these two, I would say I personally love this one because this has a more appealing opening with that raspberry touch. This does not have that raspberry feel much. This is more on the smokier woody side. So for people who love smoky woody fragrance, more of that bold statement sort of oud fragrance, this is definitely something that you can go for. And for those who love more punchy, powerful, smoky fragrances with beast mode character, this is definitely your choice. That doesn't mean that this does not last. This also gave me easily 10 to 11 hours with 2.5 hours of projection. But the appealing factor, like I said, which I personally love, I would go with GISSAH Akoya itself. Okay, so this is purely based on my personal taste because I love the opening of this, then this is more appealing. And then when it goes to the dry down, because when I tried this on my skin at night after my office, it smelled very appealing because night time the weather gets cooler, so it was more appealing. I did not enjoy this when I was in my native because it was hot, sweaty there, so do not try it in the summers. This is definitely a winter fragrance because you will enjoy it only in that sort of weather. Okay, now after 8 hours when I went to the gym, the one which I tested in my inner elbow, when my body got warmed up, this started projecting slightly again after 8 hours. Okay, and that is when I felt that it also had that smoky feel similar to this one. But here the smoky character starts off right from 1.5 hours itself. So that's where I said that if you love smoky oud sort of fragrance with more projection, go with AHL. If you do not prefer that smoky character in the woody accords, go with Akoya. Now, like I said, this is priced around 7,000 for a 200 ml bottle. So if you cut it down to 100 ml, it goes around 3,500. Now this is 3,500 or 3,600 for a 60 ml. So the difference is still there. The refinement level, the quality is definitely good in both of these. But when it comes to the performance, AHMED Maghribi still stands out, guys. I did not find that punchy, bold, heavy performing projection in GISSAH Akoya. And this statement that I'm making is only when I compare it with AHMED Maghribi. But otherwise, this is also a great performing perfume. Like I said, 2.5 hours of projection, 10 to 11 hours of lasting. But the projection, the distance, the airy feel, bold statement, when compared with AHMED Maghribi, this is slightly on the lesser side. But otherwise, in general, if I did not have to compare, this is definitely better in terms of performance. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you personally ask me if I love Akoya more than these two from AHMED Maghribi, which is Merge or Bin Shake, not really. I still prefer these two over Akoya. Okay, but Akoya is still a good to have fragrance for those who love Oud Maracuja, because when I compare it with AHL, I find Akoya to be more appealing. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in case you've tried this. Comment down in the comment section. See you next time soon. Keep sharing the videos. Cheers.